So hello again today, viewers. I'm going to do a Sudoku. This is an easy setting on this game. I'm just going to try to help explain how the game is actually played. As you know, we're going to get 1 to 9 in each cube, each column and each row without the numbers being multiplied over. So only one of each 1 to 9 in either of those three options. So I said this was an easy one. So if we have a look here, we've got the 1, so that column's out, this column's out for 1. So in this square there is no column, no 1s, but we've got a 1 over here, so that row is out. A 1 here, so this row is out, so that makes this one here the 1. We then have 2, so this row is out. Oh, pardon me. Already got the 2 there, so that 2's out, that 2 is out, so that means that this one here has to be the 2. 1, 2, so we need 3, 4, 5, 6, so 3 and 8 in this column here. 3 and 8 and 3 and 8 here as well. So we can just put our numbers in. 3, 8, 3 and 8, 3 and 8. Because this is the only two numbers, these are the only two squares left, so these have to be the 3 and the 8. We've got 3 and 8 in two blocks here on the column. That means that 3 and 8 cannot appear in this column again. So we've got the numbers, so we've got 1, no 2, 3, 4, 5, no 6, an 8 and a 9. So we're missing the numbers 2, 6 and 9. So we can see here we've got a 2, so that cannot be a 2, that has to be a 6 or a 9. So we'll put down here 6, 9. Again, the numbers were 2, 6, 9, 2, 6, and you can see here we have a 9. So if we go to another column, 1, 2, so we need a 3, 4, 5, we need a 6, an 8 and a 9. 3, 6, 8, 9. So here we already got 3 and 6, so that has to be 8 and 9. 3, 6, 8, 9, and you can see we've got the 8, 9 here already. So that's 3 and 6, 3, there's already a 6, 8, 9, and in this column, last one, 3, 6, 8, 9 was our numbers, 3, 6, 8, 9. So, I'm just having a quick look here. I've got 7s. I've got 7 in this row. I've got 7 in this row. So these are out for 7. That's out for 7. That means that this has to be the 7. If I've got this 7 here in this column, this 7 here in this column, that means that one of these two has to be the 7. And you can see in this row here, we already got a 7. So that one's out. That only leaves this. That has to be the 7. And then again, we go up. That column's out. This column is out. This row is out for 7. That means that either one of these can be a 7. But this cannot be a 7. Remember, we need a 7 in each line. So, because we've got a 7 here, I'll just pencil this in, 7 and 7. But you can see we already got a 7 in this column. because 7 cannot go over here. So we have to take that 7 out, which means that this is the only place for the 7. So that is the 7. Again, we've got this column out, this column out, these 2 rows are out, which only leaves the 1 square, so that is the 7 there. So we've got 8 and 9 in this here, so it's actually the numbers that are missing. It's 4, 8 and 9. But we can see we've got 4 here in this column, 4 here in this column. So that means that this has to be the 4, and these here are either going to be the 8 or the 9, because we cannot put a 4 there or there. If we continue with the 4s, if we come across, so that's out, that cannot be a 4, that cannot be a 4, but either one of these can be a 4. But if we look at it, we need to have a 4 inside this row. So one of these has to be the 4, not the top 2, because we need the 4 to make up the row. So if this row is out, now this row is out, that means that only up here can be the 4. This column is out, so that means that one of these is going to be the 4 here. So if we come down to this one here that has only another 3 numbers missing, and we can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so it's 8, 9, so it's 3, 8 and 9 that is missing. So we'll pencil them in, 3, 8, 9. Three, 8, 9. Now I know you're going to say, but there's already a 3 there. So we'll take that 3 out. And there's already a 9 there. So if we take that 9 out, it only leaves the 8. So that is the 8. That 8 then comes across, which makes that the 3. So I've got 3 and the 8, which leaves the 9. So this 3 takes out this 8. And then that 8 would make this one the 3. Now in this row here we've got the 3, so that means that's going to be just the 8 and the 9. So we take the 3 out, and 8 and 9 is the ones that are missing. 8, 9. Now we have the 2 numbers, 2 blocks again in the same cube, 8, 9. So that takes out the 8 and the 9 out of that last lot of numbers we had. Got 3, 6, 3, 6, 8, 9, 8, 9. So that column has to stay there like that. So the numbers that are missing, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so we've got 5, 6, so it's 3, 5, 6, 8 and 9, 3, 5, 6, 8 and 9. We've got 3, 5 here, so that means that has to be the 6. If that's the 6, that has to be the 3. 3, 5, 6 is the numbers we're looking at. 5 is left. So in this one here is only one more cube left, so it has to be the 8 and the 9. 8, 9. If we look over here, we've got the 3s here, so we can make this one here now the 6. That's the 6, it affects this one over here, which is now going to be the 2. So looking at this one here, we've got 2 numbers missing, and that's 3 and 4. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But you can see we've got a 4 in this cube already. So that means this one here is the 4, and this one here is the 3. So 4 here. Remember I said up the top here we had 2 4s where they had to be the 4. So that takes that 4 out. we can see that this column line here is out because of that 4. This 4, it takes that column out, and that doesn't have the 4 in it. So this here is the 4. Also notice in here I've got the 2, and I've got a 2 in my pencil here, so I'll just scrub my 2 out, which leaves me the 6 and the 9, which is all there should be. I've only got 2 squares, so I should only have 2 numbers. So in this one here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers missing, and you can see here we've got 8, 9. So that means that up here has to be the 8 and the 9 as well. And 8, 9, no, because we've got 8, 9 there. Can this be the 8 and the 9? Yes. And this could be the 8. But what other numbers are we missing? So we've got 1, so we're missing 2. But there's a 2 there. So we're missing a 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. So there's no 6. 7, 8, 9. So got 1, so we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. As you can see, I've only got 1. I was only able to put the 1 in there because we needed 2, 6, 8, 9. 4 numbers. 2, 6, 8, 9. So that has to be the 2. If we take this 2 out, that is 6 and 8. But we've already got the 8 and the 9, 8 and a 9. So that has to be the 6. Because we've got the 2 numbers. 2 blocks, 2 numbers. So we can't have a third number. Now none of those numbers we put in affect our other numbers as of yet. So we're missing another 2 numbers here. So we've got 1, 2. So we're missing 3, 4, 5. So we're missing 3, 8 and 9. 3, 8, 9. Okay. 3, 8, 9. 3, 8, no 9 because the 9's already in that column. 3, 8, 9, 3, 8, 9, 8, 9. Now because we've got these 3 can only be a 3, an 8 or a 9, or a 3, an 8, 9. So no more 3, 8, 9s are allowed in this row. So we've got 1, 2, 3, so we're missing 4, 5 and 6. And if we look in this cube, we're missing 4, 5 and 6. If I come down here, I've got 5 and 6 already in a column. So that means that has to be the 4. This is 5 or 6, and this is 5 or 6. But I've got a 5 in this column, so that has to be the 6, which makes this one the 5. And then we can see we only got 1 number here missing, so we've got 1, and we can see we're missing the number 2. In this one we've got 2 numbers missing, but if we have a look, you can see I've got a pencil mark for 4, but I've already got a 4 here. So that needs to be rubbed out, which means this row is 4s are gone, these are gone, this is gone, so this has to be the 4, because it cannot go in anywhere else. And you can see here we've got 8, 9, that means that this has to be the 8 on the 9. We already got an 8, so that is the 9, which makes this one the 8, which makes this one the 9, which makes this one the 8, and this up here makes this one the 9, which makes this one the 8, and both of these will make this one the 9. Okay, now we've got this 8 and 9 here, 8, so that is the 9 there. Now we're going to just tidy up our pencil marks, take our pencil marks off the completed ones. You can see we've got a 9 in this column, 9 in this cube I should say, so we're going to take the 9 out, which just leaves us 3 and 8, which is right, because we've only got 2 cubes. And that's 6 and 9, so that's fine, but there's a 9 here. So that's the 6, which makes that the 9, because that can't be in the 9. So 3 and 8, which means that this has to be the 3 or the 8. 3 and 8. So in here we've got 3 numbers missing, which is going to be 2, 3 and 8. There's already a 2 there. We can't have the 2 here, so that means that is the 2. And this here is the 3 and the 8. The 3 or the 8. Then we've got one column here spare, one cube, one block here. So that makes this the 3 or the 8. We've got the 3 here, so that makes that the 8. Because there's the 3, 8. Which makes this one the 3. Makes this one the 8. Makes this one the 3. Which will then make this one the 8. So we'll just rub those out again. Now we only got the 2 cubes left. We've got 1, 2, so we've got 3 and 6 are the 2 numbers missing. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3 and 6. We can see here we've got a 3, so that has to be the 6, which means this one here is the 3. And there we go, we have won the game. And you can see that has only taken us 17 minutes to complete on easy.